One of our viewers asked me to discuss the new addendum regarding fixture leases that will be used with the newly promulgated contract. Reminder, I am filming this video before the new contract with this related addendum is available. It will not be available until after February 16th, 2021, when the Texas Real Estate Commission meets again. At that time, the Commission will set the dates for availability of the new contract and related addendum and required use. In the meantime, let us understand what the addendum regarding fixture lease covers and when to use it. The addendum has a twofold purpose. It serves as a disclosure to a buyer as to what fixtures and/or improvements on the property are not owned by seller and therefore cannot be conveyed from seller to buyer. Paragraph 2B of the contract contains a non-exclusive list of items that may be included in the fixtures and improvements to be conveyed to buyer. However, under the current contract, those fixtures and improvements are qualified by the words owned by seller. That means even though an item may be considered a fixture or improvement, whether set out in the non-exclusive list or not, if it is not owned by seller, it is not included in the items to be conveyed. One of the most recent changes to the contract removed the qualifications that these items be owned by seller to convey. As a result, the seller must disclose what he does not own. The addendum regarding fixture lease begins with a disclosure and then provides for the buyer and seller to negotiate for the items buyer wants to retain by assuming the lease obligations. Sometimes the lessor of the fixtures has a fee for transferring the lease, so the addendum provides a place to negotiate the payment of the transfer fees and requires the buyer to sign any assignment or transfer document required by the lessor. The lease also provides that if the seller is going to remove any leased fixtures prior to delivering possession to the property, seller will repair any damage to the property caused by any removal. Finally, if buyer is assuming any of the fixture leases, buyer has a right to copies of those leases. The addendum provides a space for the buyer to acknowledge he or she has already received a copy of all fixture leases buyers agreed to assume. Or if buyer has not already received them, then the seller is given 5 days to deliver them to the buyer, and buyer has the right to terminate the contract within 7 days after receipt. Basically, this provision gives the buyer another option to terminate under the contract. As a listing agent, it will be prudent for you to get copies of all fixture leases ahead of any contract negotiation and provide all of them to any potential buyer. Then if buyer chooses to assume a lease, buyer can acknowledge already having received the lease he or she has agreed to assume. I anticipate we will see this addendum attached to many of our contracts. Remember, even if buyer and seller do not agree to any assumption of a fixture lease, seller has to disclose what fixtures are leased, and this is the form to use. I hope this video podcast helps you understand a little better the new form and help you be comfortable using it when the new contracts are made available. Allegiance Title is here to serve you and your clients. Please let us be of help. Thank you.